Hey, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us this morning, or this afternoon. Just hit noon, 12:01 right now on this Friday. I hope everyone had a good 4th of July. It was a bit soggy out there for some of us. Showers, storms across Oklahoma yesterday, and I know across a good portion of the Midwest as well. You're going to have another round of showers and storms today and tomorrow as well. So if you have more 4th of July plans, make sure you're keeping an eye on the weather. So yes, we have several chances for storms today, but for the hail possibility today, I do think it's going to stay pretty small. We'll talk about that. Larger hail expected for tomorrow, up to the size of baseballs, so that's definitely something to watch out for on your Saturday. And then, of course, we are also tracking that historic Hurricane Beryl. I see that David is on here this morning commenting via Facebook. Of course, if you have any questions or any comments, if you saw hail yesterday as well, stick that in the comments section. We can see them on the screen. Okay, let's talk about what we saw yesterday. We did see a good round of hail reports through Tulsa area. I know that we had some hail in Oklahoma City or Norman areas as well. We saw some really strong wind for some of the parts of the country as well, and I know there's some damage out there reported by the National Weather Service. One place did get a small tornado. This is just outside of Columbus, just to the west there. You can see that little spin up yesterday evening. That's definitely something that we were keeping an eye on. And outside of Tulsa, some large hail also reported. This is in Bixby, so just south of Tulsa, about 1.5 inches hail size there. You can see that on the screen in northern portions of Bixby. So some people definitely having to deal with that on top of their 4th of July plans. Yesterday, current conditions across the country, we're watching storms as we speak. They are going on in parts of Kentucky as well. Michigan, we've got some storms firing up just along the west side of the state right here. This is an area today that we could see some hail. So we'll talk about that and the hail forecast in just a few minutes, but those storms firing up right now. If you head farther out to the west, you can still see storms anywhere from Green Bay all the way through the Great Lakes, northeastern side of the country. Few showers and storms out there. Nothing severe right there, but we do have severe storms going on right now in Kentucky. So let's take a look at those severe polygons. You can see that going into Pikeville right now. And then if we zoom out, you can see that severe thunderstorm watch as well. That goes all the way up into Charleston, Kentucky. So a lot of people dealing with those storms. Once again, for today, we've got another round for tomorrow. Here in Oklahoma City, it's been a soggy day all morning long. I walked my dog this morning and she went very, very quickly because she does not like the rain by any means. She came back in and shook off all the raindrops. And I'm seeing some people on the comments section over here. Thanks for watching this morning. Anyway, yes, if you have a dog as well, you may have muddy paws today because we still have that rain ongoing across Oklahoma. Okay, current temperatures have cooled down a bit. That, I guess, is the good thing about that rain. Temperatures are in the 70s here in Oklahoma, 69 up in Denver, 102 in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is always the winner, always the hottest across the U.S. We've got the 80s farther down to the south and east, and 90 degrees in Miami, 91 in Houston. Houston, you may have some rain coming for you. Hurricane Beryl is making its way to the southern side of Texas. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but I do want to talk about today's chance for storms. Okay, so we've got 2 areas out to the west, one in New Mexico, one up in Montana. This will be thunderstorms with some small hail, but the biggest hazard here will be for strong wind speeds. The instability really focusing farther out to the east here. I think the cap is going to catch a lot of these storms down in the southern portion of the states, but then we also have those storms out in Kentucky that we've been watching for today. That's another area that we have the chance for some hail just on the Just the south of Michigan here, yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. So here's your future radar. We're going to go through this multiple times in different areas. So we've got those storms in Kentucky right now. We just talked about that. This will track farther off to the east, weakening as it heads to the east coast, northeastern side of the states. Later on tonight and into tomorrow morning, you're waking up with another round of showers and storms for your Saturday. Now heading farther off into Michigan, as I mentioned earlier, along the west coast we have storms firing up right now. Those are tracking to the east. I do think that we could see some small hail out of this anywhere from the eastern side of the state all the way down to central and southern portions of the state as well. Okay, let's head farther down to the south now. We're going to take you down to New Mexico, Montana, New Mexico first. Okay. New Mexico will also see a few storms fire up later on this afternoon into the evening hours. The better chances for strong storms will be on the eastern side of the state, heading into Texas, really starting to fizzle out once they cross over that New Mexico-Texas state line. And now we'll head farther up to the north, where we have another round of storms, most likely the chance for wind in this area. I think the hail potential will be very, very small up here. You can see by our significant hail models that we have much better chances to see that hail down in New Mexico. What we're watching for here is we're watching for cool air, because right now it's into the summer, you know, we've got really warm air, so we could see hail in this area, but then it melts by the time it gets to the surface. So we'll see if it can actually reach the ground there. All right, moving on here to see that hail forecast. I mentioned Michigan, central, eastern portion of the state, southern portion of the state. Those will be the best chances to see that hail. We're keeping it pretty small for today, about quarter-sized, maybe a bit bigger, but probably not. Best chances there will be Detroit to see that severe weather. We're also looking at the potential for hail on the eastern side of New Mexico as well, so we'll watch that today. I think this will be very isolated, which is why I kept this color in the green. And of course, this is a pretty, not a ton of people are out in eastern New Mexico, so I don't think it'll impact too many people for today. For tomorrow, this is tomorrow's chance for storms. We could see up to 2 inches or maybe even larger hail sizes for tomorrow. So let's get right into Saturday here. Saturday, we have storms in the northern plains. So you can see that in the afternoon hours, early afternoon into the evening, anywhere from Nebraska down to northwestern Kansas. This is an area that we have seen over and over and over with those strong storms the past few weeks. And once again, we are seeing storms in this area for tomorrow. High wind and isolated large hail will be some of the biggest factors here. So we do have a hatched area here for the most significant hail sizes. I think most of these will be between about 1¼ inches to 1¾ of an inch. And the best areas to see hail, or the most likely areas to see hail, will be anywhere from McCook all the way up to Omaha and into northern Nebraska here. I put Liberal, Kansas on the map. However, I think it's a pretty small chance for one of those tail-end Charlies to get to Liberal. Okay, let's move on here to see the biggest hail sizes for tomorrow, anywhere between egg-sized to baseball-sized, tennis ball-sized hail here. I think that we could get about 2½ inch hail out of this, very isolated, so maybe like 1 report, but most of this will be smaller hail up to the size of a golf ball. And we have been talking about this for the past week now. Hurricane Beryl still on the move right now across the Yucatan Peninsula. So you may know some of these areas if you like to vacation down in the tropics. This is Cancun, Playa del Carmen, and on the other side of this, where some of the strongest winds are headed right now, that is Progreso. And this will continue to track into the ocean. So this is going to give us, over the next 24 hours, a lot more information about this hurricane. Once it gets off of the peninsula and back into some of these warm waters, we're gonna get a lot more information about the strengthening of this hurricane. Will it continue to strengthen as it heads to South Texas and northern Mexico? I think that's definitely possible. We have warm waters in this area. The path right now is to the north and northwest. It's going to be a very close call to see if that actually gets into Texas or stays down into Mexico. Right now, the National Hurricane Center has this storm at a Category 1 hurricane as it heads into southern Texas. Corpus Christi getting impacted here, maybe even parts of Houston, all the way up into central Texas here as a tropical storm. Could we see this rain, showers, thunderstorms, possibly severe weather into Dallas and Oklahoma City? I think that's definitely possible, but we'll have to wait for the next few days to see what happens. Again, we're talking about Wednesday now, so we're talking pretty far out in the future here. But here's a look at just one model, what it wants to do. Of course, it's bringing a lot of moisture into the states already, no matter where it makes landfall. As we head into the next few days, we will start to see possibly some flooding along the Texas coast. We'll just have to see here exactly the track of the storm, but this is just one model that wants to bring a lot of rain into Dallas, into Oklahoma City. We definitely need it out there. One of the factors that we're watching for here is wind shear that could also definitely impact this storm. Spaghetti models here, spaghetti plots. Some models want to take this down into Mexico. Other models, more now, this is trending up to Texas, so it does look like a lot of these models have the same idea here, coming into Corpus Christi or even impacting Houston. So we'll watch it. We'll see what happens with Beryl over the next few days. You know, of course, we'll be tracking that here at HailTrace. Follow us on social media if you'd like to see more videos like this. We've been posting a lot on TikTok and YouTube. We've also got our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages. We stream live noon forecasts every single day on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So we'd love it if you give us a follow there. And if you'd like to get in contact with us, here's a look at our different ways to get in contact. You can call us at 855-334-4245. Email us at info@hailtrace.com, or of course, visit the website, hailtrace.com. If you are a subscriber already, you probably visited that Hail site quite often. Okay, we are back on Monday for our noon forecast, so I'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.